Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. I'm Alex,
Eric.
and today we are cooking up a very special birthday podcast for you. That's right, birthday boy. Whose birthday is it?
Well, if we look at the calendar, we know that this is coming out on July 15th.
Yep.
So, naturally, the day after Bastille Day. And you know what Bastille Day means, right, Alex?
A whole bunch of French patriotism.
Exactly. But what's even more betterer than the French patriotism is the fact that it is 7 months and 7 days after Alex's birthday.
Ooh,
Wow.
that is true. And it's pretty
That's just
great.
Oh wait, not even 7. 6 days after your birthday. So close.
That is true. That is true. It was basically my birthday right before this podcast aired, so that's probably I
So
might as well celebrate that in this podcast, right?
that's what we're doing today. We are
All right.
celebrating a wonderful birthday. Definitely not my birthday that's
Uh-huh.
happening or anything. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Get in the comments and wish Eric the opposite of a good birthday.
Are you trying to like wish bad birthdays upon me or something,
Yep.
man? That's kind of cruel.
Yeah, I'm a cruel person.
Jeez, after I do all that to set up a wonderful 7 month
Yeah.
and 6 days after your
Wow, you're
birthday.
right, dude. I should be more grateful on my special day.
Exactly. Not I mean, hey, you only get a 7 month and 6 day after your birthday day once a year, okay?
Only one. Yeah, you only get the one a year.
Like that's pretty wild.
It's true. All right, Eric. You want to get into our main topic?
Yeah, sure. We can talk about our main topic. And I was thinking, we're recording this on Bastille Day. Wow, what a wonderful French day. So we're gonna talk about none other than the Académie Royale d'Architecture.
Ooh, Le Académie Art Royale d'Architecture in France.
Well, it's a French academy, and yeah, it's in Paris, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, oui, bonjour. Do we know anyone who studied at that academy? Someone who perhaps was snuffed of his greatest invention?
Oh, you mean Eric Eiffel, the
Yeah.
greatest buttress architect of the entire world?
Yeah, that guy. How is he? How many times is he featured in the museum?
Well, he's actually the founder, believe it or not.
Oh, wow! And
So,
he founded it on his birthday, the day after Bastille Day,
the day after Bastille Day on
when this podcast comes out, obviously.
in 1671, like
Hmm.
you do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of cool. So it was founded by Eric Eiffel, and of course Louis the 14th was the one that gave him money to do this, because as you do, Eric Eiffel, he was snubbed. He was never known for a lot of things. So even history books try and rewrite him out of the founding of the great Académie Royale d'Architecture. It's it's a beautiful place, a beautiful school of architecture. I believe that all the pillars are made of baguettes, and there is a pastry shop on every floor.
Wow. And the flying buttresses are made out of pain du chocolat.
Oh, you know it. So naturally, once you walk into the building, you leave 6 pounds heavier at a minimum.
Yeah, it's more of an eating and architecting double whammy museum.
Like any true great French building, you know. I mean, I heard that the Arc de Triomphe is called the Arc de Triomphe, because only real guests that walk through the Arc are able to triumph in the national hot dog eating contest that happens every day at the Arc de Triomphe. So you put on a bunch of pounds when you walk through the Arc.
Oh yeah, and then when you win the Arc de Triomphe,
Oh, the French fry eating competition. My bad.
you get the only licensed T-shirt that says "I won the Arc, I triumphed over the Arc de Triomphe French fry eating competition," and you can only get those if you eat 15 buckets of French fries underneath the Arc de Triomphe.
It's crazy, and of course the 15th, because the day after Bastille Day, the 15th of July.
Oh, the most important of all the French days. Absolutely. Eric, did you know in the Museum des Architecture French words that
Yep, the Académie Royale d'Architecture.
yeah, oui. Did you know they have a whole section on the structural rigidity of fiber one bars?
I actually have heard about that. I've never witnessed it myself. I've been hoping to go one of these times. But yeah, so Fiber One, I heard it's a new showpiece. It's relatively new in the last few decades, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, they're real tough. They'll hold you together. It really like can set a foundation for like at least a week. A box of fiber one bars. So
That's quite impressive. Yeah, so basically if you're ever in the Paris area and you're trying to study some architecture, make sure to roll through. You get some baguettes and some pain de chocolat at every floor, and they actually allow smoking inside. Only cigs, of course, because that's the true French way.
the only time you're allowed to smoke inside the building is if you are also pondering the nature of the cosmos itself, the true French pastime.
The nature of the cosmos or the
The plight of man.
structural integrity as well as the inner machinations of the architectural design of flying buttresses.
Oh yeah, as long as you're lost in deep rambling thoughts that are in some way related to man and his follies, then you're good to smoke wherever you want. That's completely true.
Also, I believe you get a discount for being extra smelly upon entry.
Oh, also, I heard the kids section, Eric. One of the kids exhibits, which is why you should definitely go this month before they take it down, is pasta bridges. It's about structural integrity through pasta shapes. They have a visiting Italian.
Yeah, I heard that's actually part of the so the especially from between 1720 and 1968 when they had the annual competitions for the Grand Prix de Rome in architecture.
Yep.
It's sort of that fellowship program along with the Italian architecture schools. So it's a moving display. I believe next month it'll be in Stalingrad, the Museo de Stalingrad of architecture. So yeah, it's a very cool exhibit. I remember I saw it when I was in Pisa of all places.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was eating some pizza and looking at some Pisan architecture.
Ooh, yeah. Well, in Pisa, they had to see how much they could cantilever over their tower before the pasta tower collapsed
Before the spaghetti broke.
into a delicious mess. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So you want to, yeah? How about we hop on some sort of two-wheeled personal transport vehicle, Eric, in order to reach the next segment?
I mean, I heard that we don't have a guest this week because
No, we don't.
we are terrible hosts and no one wants to
Well,
be
I'm
involved.
real smelly this week, so no one wanted to come on.
I'm also smelly. I believe that we've been, having too much French toast and French fries recently, so our
Yeah, that'll
stench is
do it.
keeping away all mild-mannered people.
Maybe we'll get someone who's more rugged on next week or something. We'll figure it
Sounds
out.
about right. Sounds
Yeah.
about right. Well, Alex, I gotta say, by this time this podcast comes out, yesterday was my birthday, and it
Ooh,
was your
awesome.
6 months and 6 months and 5 days, 7 months and 5 days since your birthday.
What a
So
coincidence.
how how did you celebrate your wonderful day?
Oh, that was easy. I woke up
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Wow, this is too early." And I rolled back over, and then I woke up to my alarm, and I was like, "Wow, this is too late." And I got out of bed, and I ran to work, and then I just mowed. I just kept mowing. I had flashbacks to the Great War where I was mowing things, and the grass it had to die. Grass has done horrible things.
Was the grass speaking in
Unspeakable
a
horrors.
different language?
Oh my gosh, yes, Eric. The grass was
Every
speaking. Cantonese.
Oh my gosh! Every blade of grass that was standing like above 2 inches it was speaking Cantonese to you.
Oh yeah, no, Eric. The grass whispers in foreign tongues. It's
Oh my
terrifying.
gosh! You never know.
So I
Well,
slaughtered them all, Eric. Not just the little grass, not just the 2-inch blades, but the 3-inch and 4-inch long blades
oh
too.
my
I mowed
goodness!
them all down.
You monster!
Yep. So it was a good day.
That's actually really similar to what I did. Except instead of blades of grass, it was the not just the men, it was the women and the children too. No. So I woke up this morning and I was like, ooh, I'm kind of tired. And so I also woke up before my alarm. I woke
Yep.
up at a nice ripe age of late for you, so it was like, 7:30, and I sat there and I pondered, man, what day is it today? I'm really tired. So I was there just scrolling through my phone and I was like, man, I could go to work right now. I'm not gonna do that. So then I was sitting in bed and I got a phone call and I was like, now who the heck is calling me at 8 o'clock in the morning? And I looked at the number. I was like, who is this? And I honestly, I feel terrible. I didn't recognize the number, but it was Oma. Oma called me. I got right as I was getting out of bed. I was just pouring some Raisin Bran into a bowl. Of course,
Ooh.
new sponsor, Raisin Bran, but not just normal Raisin Bran. I'm talking Price Chopper brand Raisin Bran.
It's not trademark, so Price Dropper can do that.
Exactly. So I was sitting there with a bowl, and then great call from Oma. I know we lost the Oma seal of approval, but hey, shout out
Happened.
to Omas all across the world. They're great. Gotta love an early morning conversation with Oma. And then this one gets even crazier. Instead of going to work like I should have, I sat down and watched a bunch of YouTube videos. Oh my goodness. This Nature Walks with Eric channel, it was so good.
Dude, you just binged them all?
They had so many funny short skits, and wow, it was great. I saw so much nature. I listened to like 80 hours of podcast. It was so good. But yeah, and then I went to work and did some work and I think killed a bunch of blades of grass, something like that. I didn't mow them. I just took a scythe and just started chopping their little tops off.
Yeah, I like to hear him scream too, but
So good day, really.
nice.
A question for you then.
Sure.
How do you ethically deal with yourself knowing that you use ear protection to drown out the sound of the screams of that grass that you kill?
Yeah, so what you have to understand about sound, Eric, is that the higher the pitch, the more energy is in that sound wave.
Interesting.
But so your hearing protection really needs to be good at blocking those high pitched signals that will interfere with your hearing protection easily.
Like the little baby the baby
Yeah, the
grass
little baby
screams.
wavelengths, the real high pitch baby grass screams. Those they bounce right off.
Hmm.
But the low guttural wails, Eric, of
Oh
now
yeah.
orphaned uh young adults, I mean,
Yes.
those cut right through the hearing protection. So I don't have any problems sleeping. You can listen to at least 20% of all the grass I kill. I listen to it while it dies. I comfort it, because I'm all about that mowing grass
Well,
responsibly way.
exactly. I mean, this happens way too often. It's actually a lot better if you hear the grass screams because if you just ignore them, that's pretty sociopathic. But if you actually empathize with the grass, and no, you hear the screams, you understand their plight, and you look at it and you're like, hey, I got a job to do. This isn't a personal vendetta or anything. I don't hate grass. I just uh, I'm doing what the man is telling me to do.
Riding a 1.5 ton riding lawnmower around really is just nature, and using explosive oil byproducts that have been dredged up and created millions of years ago. I mean, that's the course of nature. Who am I to step in the path
Alex,
of Mother Earth?
what is the difference between a 1.5 ton riding mower and a multi-ton elephant that's also eating the grass, you know?
Exactly.
It's making loud noises. It's running off of something that's even more complex than oil. It's running off of sunlight. That stuff is crazy. That's so much more complex than a simple, like two-stroke engine. Like, come on.
Oh, and the elephant's autonomous.
That's scary. Like, that's scary.
Right?
Who knows? That's Elon Musk times 1,000. That is Elon Tusk out there, man.
Ooh, yeah, Elon Tusk, love you, buddy. All right, let's get this. We're gonna, just like the herd of elephants outside your door. We're gonna keep this podcast moving.
All right, let's move on to wait, what is this? People wrote questions on our last week's podcast?
Yeah, they did.
Well, we got to answer them, Alex.
All right. So, Eric, here's a hot question. Barbara DeWitt asks, "What Kirkland box wine pairs best with this podcast?"
Oh, so Kirkland's got a lot of boxes.
Well, no, we need to know which blend of grapes in a Kirkland box wine pairs best
Cab
with
Sav is the
this
best.
podcast. Yeah, the working man's wine, Cabernet Sauvignon, is a fantastic choice for listening to this podcast. Some people call it the working man's podcast. We don't,
I
but other
mean,
people do.
well, I know all of my friends listen to it while they're at work, like good corporate slaves. So naturally, you got to get the working man's wine, which is a Cab Sav, or if you're in France, Cabernet Sauvignon, something like that. But that's especially I wouldn't refer to it as a Cabernet Sauvignon unless you're expecting it to get skunked, because naturally that French the French pronunciation just makes it smelly, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So to continue the trend, something we really like here at this podcast is poor French accents. And so the other wine I think we have to pair with this podcast, Eric, is a little favorite of mine from Kirkland. It is California Blende Rouge with extra grit in the bottom of the bag. Now, just like this podcast, it has a poor French accent, and also it's tough and gritty, just like us, which is what you want in a wine. Bonus points, it's the cheapest wine, which we all know
Ooh.
makes for faster consumption.
Which is really similar to this podcast, which is the cheapest podcast.
Correct.
What was I gonna say about that? Well, no, I personally like the dredges at the bottom. It really add flavor and sort of, it puts the hair on your chest. Might take it away too. I don't know. That stuff is deadly.
Oh,
But
yeah, the greenier your wine, the better. You want something to chew on when you're done at the bottom of the glass.
it's one of those things where you've heard of Oops All Berries, like the Captain Crunch Oops All Berries.
Yeah, of course.
I'm waiting for the box wine to be Oops All Grit.
All dregs.
I just want the dregs, just from
Yeah.
start to finish, just constant. That's what I'm shooting for in a wine, you know?
We're like boxed wine, only way more dreggy. That's this podcast.
Hmm.
Really,
So
the dregs at the bottom of a boxed wine box.
that's what I'm shooting for. All right, Alex.
Yeah.
Well, we are filled with questions right here.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's going to be an editing nightmare. How about we answer? Oh, you go for it.
I got, hi, Dewey Bros. Who do you think is the better Dewey brother who has a birthday in July? Love, the Dewey Brothers, written by Nature Walks with Eric.
Ooh, that's really tough, Eric. I'm going to go. I was going to say dad, but that's June. And then I remembered the honorary Dewey brother, Katrina, whose birthday is also in July. Probably the only one that I can. Wait, whoa, Eric, it's your birthday in July.
What?
Holy
No way.
moly.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm going to put my vote in Katrina, though.
I mean, that does make sense. She is
yeah.
What is it, Einer Brüder?
Yeah, sure, whatever we call them.
What's honorary brother?
That's close enough.
Okay.
All right, Eric. Obviously, it's my bro, Eric. You're the best. You're the best Dewey brother. Period. No qualifications about birthdays in July. Now, but you have to ask this question. You got to answer this one for me, Eric, because I don't think I can answer it. You ready?
Okay.
Hey, Dewey Bros. It's Steve here. Remember him from last podcast? I'm
Oh
going to
God, not
prank my
Steve.
neighbor Seth by wallpapering his living room with jigsaw puzzles when he goes out to buy milk today. What theme should the puzzles have? Thanks, your boy Steve.
Okay, so for all the continuity listeners out there, it sounds like Steve and Seth are in a pranking war right now. With last
Oh
week,
yeah, harmless, really harmless pranks.
Seth took a bunch of homegrown hops and planted them under poor Steve's car, and now Steve has some sort of stick it to the deep state homegrown hop brewery out front.
Something like that.
But beyond that, we have wow. So it really depends on how big his living room is, and if we're talking multiple walls, you know, because I personally, I don't think it's a good prank if it's too convoluted. So it needs to have some sort of structure. But I don't want to see two walls with the same theme. I want one wall to be sort of an underwater theme. So that way when Seth walks into his living room, he's like, "Wait a minute. I'm not at the aquarium. I'm in my living room." And he is just flabbergasted, okay? But he walks in, he's like, "I'm at the aquarium." Wait a minute. No, I'm not. He turns to his right, sees another wall, and it is the jungle. I'm talking he's in the Amazon rainforest, and there's frogs and there's jaguars and indigenous people with fires running down the river, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm in the Amazon right now. What?" And then he's like, "Wait a minute, that can't be right. I'm in the aquarium." And then he turns to a third wall. This is where it gets crazy. And all he sees is thrift shop, like, apparel. So it's like an I Spy puzzle, just coding one wall. I think that would prank him real good.
We got I Spy, marine biology, and jungle puzzles. Those are all pretty good. But what happens when he finally turns around and realizes that he just walked through a wall coded in the fourth puzzle,
Puzzle pieces?
some meta puzzle pieces? So then he's like, "Oh man, now I finally know what this prank's all about."
No. That's the thing. That's the kicker. You take a bunch of jigsaw puzzle pieces, and what you do is you turn them upside down. So what's facing you is just like the brown cardboard pieces that the puzzle piece is made out of. So he's like, "Oh my gosh, am I just living in a puzzle?" And he has no idea. You're freaked. He's gonna drop his drawers and be like, "I don't know where I am anymore," and probably have 6 or 7 existential crises there in his own living room.
Wow, Eric, that takes it from an art form to a statement, and that's what
Something
we
that
like.
belongs in the archaeology, the Académie Royale d'Architecture.
Oh, oui, monsieur. Absolutely. Put that puzzle room of doom into the architecture society. Now that's what you got to do, Steve. I recommend getting your aqua puzzles from the Echo Center, but we can't help you with any of the other ones except you can buy just twice as many puzzles from the Echo Center and turn them inside out for that fourth wall.
It's really important.
Oh, bonus points. The fourth wall, that's just all the cardboard backing of the puzzles. That one also speaks to the metaphor of breaking,
The
of showing
fourth wall.
cracks in the fourth wall without actually breaking through it, which is a whole nother level.
It is. So like you see it a lot, like directors and movie people try and be sneaky and like throw in some third wall breaks. I'm talking breaking the fourth wall. You know what? Screw it. Don't even put puzzle pieces there. Actually just destroy his fourth wall.
Whoa, Eric, that takes it from a harmless prank to property damage, which this podcast does not condone, only covering somebody else's walls in puzzle pieces.
Okay. I guess. I guess I can agree to that for the sake of our lawyers and our court fees, but okay.
Well, I mean, if you wanted to make an art statement, that's what you would do, but we're here to promote prank wars, not make art.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So I think we answered all our questions, buddy.
No, that answers all of them. Absolutely.
What do we
Got
got
to
left?
thank our sponsors then and end this podcast.
Yeah, I think we can do that. So first and foremost, I would like to thank property damages, not art statements. They are giving us all the money to destroy whatever fourth wall you want. Screw pranks, all about property damage.
I gotta thank Brazen Bran, unapologetically Bran.
I would like to thank Big Rose with their new product, boxed wine dregs. That's right, dregs from the bottom to the top. It's in rose form. I don't know, does rose even have dregs? Who knows, but now you do. It's a box of dregs.
This podcast would not be possible without calls from OMA. Make sure that you get your legally required number of calls from OMA per year and that you fill out all the paperwork to make sure they're successful. Calls from OMA.
And of course, as always, Homegrown Hops, big time supporter of the podcast. Get out, harvest your hops. I know those cones are nice and large at this point. Brew some beer. It's the season. Homegrown Hops.
And finally, this podcast is brought to you by the silent screams of the grass, hearing protection. It's so you don't have to hear the kids scream.
The real final sponsor of this podcast is none other than the 7 months and 6 days after your birthday date. Make that the new birthday. Everyone's talking about it. Only cool kids celebrate their 7 months and 6 days after their birthday day.
Yeah, with that, this has been a Dewey Brothers podcast, season 5, episode 6. I'm Alex.
Eric.
For the love of God, man.
Just send it.
All right, Dewey quartet, I need you to get down in the comments right now and wish Eric a happy birthday. I was just joshing with you earlier. That boy needs his love and respect. So get down there and give him a happy birthday shout out.
Woo, happy birthday, that guy. Man, who would be born on Bastille Day? What a nerd.